do you think about his reasons for doing that and what it says about their future?
I don't know about their long-term future, but what it's really clear is he's mentioned engaging with teammates, he's mentioned standards, so he's given us clues, emphatic clues as to what's happened in the last few days, that they've been, moping and not doing their bit around the training ground, engaging with their teammates properly, standards in training. And he's thought, no, I'm not having it, I'm not accepting it. And good on him, because for far too long we've seen players mope around that pitch and still continue to get a game and, he's on the bench today. No, it's got to be non-negotiable. If you don't give your all in your job, you're gone. You're out. That's it. That's not just actually as a football player, that's a plumber, electrician, anybody in life. If you don't give your very best and you don't look like you're enthused every single day. And we've said for years, we've been sat in this studio for years as Manchester United ex-players saying, just give your absolute all, and the players not running back. We've seen Rashford and Garnacho for years stand up on that left and right wing, not chase back when fullbacks have gone past them, and keep their place in the team. No more.
You must feel sorry for them, though, a little bit. Maybe for Rashford, homegrown player.
Micah, I want Marcus Rashford and Garnacho to come back stronger, take the message that they've been given this morning by going training at the training ground on a Sunday when no one else is there. I want them to take this in the right spirit and become the very best players for Manchester United. But what's really clear, I don't care who you are, whether you're Andrei Kanchelskis, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Nani, whoever you are as a wide player at Manchester United, you've got to run that way as fast as you can, you've got to run back that way as fast as you can. And then the rest of it, to be fair, they've got the talent and they've got the ability, but if they don't do that, there's no place for you in the club, there's no place for you in the team.
But do you think Rashford's a little... No, I just feel like every time we're talking about Man United, and I think Rashford is a little bit of a scapegoat at times.
Don't hone in on Rashford. Don't hone in on Rashford. Don't try and move the...
I'm not because...
Don't try and move it. Garnacho and Rashford have sulked for the last few weeks.
Yes, but hold on. But Garnacho's not gone to the same level as Rashford before. Rashford scored 30 goals 2 seasons ago. So I'm talking about a player who can do it at the top level when he's playing well. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying it seems sometimes at Man United... It's always Rashford's
Do we know United's running stats? I bet United would be one of the lowest teams.
They are. Yeah. They're one of the lowest teams in the league. Micah, to be honest with you, I hear this. You're focusing on Marcus Rashford. I prefer to look at both of them. But if we want to talk about Marcus Rashford, he's on, I think, the highest wage in the club apart from Casemiro. To be fair, Casemiro just got a wonderful contract. He's on 350 grand a week, reportedly. Right? He's a star player who has scored 30 goals. With that comes the scrutiny and expectation of being one of the best players. Whether you were Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United, whether you were Roy Keane, whether you were Wayne Rooney, whether you were David Beckham, whether you were the star player of any era, Eric Cantona, more had to be demanded of you than Gary Neville at right back. Let's be clear. If I don't play well, not many people are going to talk about it. If Roy Keane does something bad, or if David Beckham does something bad, or if Marcus Rashford does something bad, that is where they're the big players. They get the most money for a reason. So if he's not working back, if he's not playing well, if he's not looking like he's enjoying himself, right, something has to happen. This is very good for Marcus Rashford today. I see this as a real positive. I think Ruben Amorim has said tonight, next week we start with a clean slate. Training starts again. I hope Marcus Rashford is playing on Thursday night against Tottenham. I really do. And I hope he goes and scores 2 or 3 goals and he fights.
I'm just giving an alternate view.
What's the alternate view?
The alternate view is from sometimes outside of Man United, whenever there's problems, Rashford gets the blame.
Right, Micah.
I'm not saying with the new manager.
Micah.
Obviously, he's got his reasons why he's left him out, him and Garnacho. I'm just talking historically with Man United, Rashford seems to get the blame.
Micah, Harry Maguire has been butchered at this football club for 3, 4, 5 years. David De Gea was hammered a few years ago, for mistakes. They're not the only ones to have had a difficult time. Di Maria was chased and hounded out of the club after about 8 months. There are players in the last 10 years. Bruno gets a horrific time at times off us and off other fans and off the media. There are loads of players at that club who've been absolutely hammered.
You mentioned a good example earlier about we played with some brilliant wide players, particularly Ryan Giggs and David Beckham. Whether you like them or not, doesn't matter. These players were brilliant going forward, brilliant Man United players. And sometimes you need examples, and we're talking about the 2 wide players who've been left out today. Ryan Giggs and David Beckham were brilliant players, brilliant going forward. But you speak to anyone who's played with them or played against them, and they ran back, and they had to run back because we wouldn't have tolerated it. So if this idea of playing football, if it was all just about running forward, football would be
Yeah,
great.
Is
But you have
there something deeper going on?
you have to
Players
run back.
don't just run back, do they?
Micah.
But there must be something
Kevin,
going on
De Bruyne,
within
when
what they're going through, or the manager. I don't know. Rashford just doesn't run back for no reason,
Micah,
does he?
right, let's look at Bernardo Silva, let's look at Phil Foden, let's look at David Silva, let's look at Kevin De Bruyne, let's look at the players who play for your team over the last 7 or 8 years, who are the most beautiful players, some of the most beautiful players we've ever seen in this league. They work like dogs. They work like League 2 midfield players.
What's the difference? They've had a constant manager who set the standards and they all buy into
Okay,
it.
well,
At times, Man United don't know where they are. They've chopped and changed it. They've relied on Rashford. When his form's good, he's here. And then sometimes when it's not going so well, he gets
Micah,
a lot